Right now, tens of millions of women after 40 experience some kind of strange symptoms that they don't understand. And usually, if you don't understand what is the real cause of those symptoms, you take some kind of chemical medications for anxiety, for depression, for whatever problem that you have, and nothing really changes because you don't understand that you are developing something that is called perimenopause, and those are a similar kind of symptoms. What is really happening in your body? Perimenopause is not menopause. It is transitional phase before menopause, where hormone levels begin to fluctuate unpredictably. And estrogen and progesterone do not decline in the straight line. They rise and fall irregularly, creating instability in the entire hormonal system. And this directly affects metabolism, brain function, sleep, mood, and the fat distribution. And the body loses its previous hormonal rhythm. And this creates symptoms that many women do not immediately connect to the hormones. And why those symptoms appear? Hormones act as regulators for the most every system in the body. When estrogen and progesterone fluctuate, they disrupt communication between the brain, ovaries, thyroid, and adrenal glands. And this creates cascade effect. Sleep becomes irregular, stress hormone increases, metabolism slows down, and inflammation rises. And over time, those kind of symptoms getting worse and worse and worse. And of course, you do not connect them with your hormonal disbalances in perimenopausal symptoms. And when you find out what are those symptoms are, and you connect them with your perimenopause, you can address them in the safe and natural way. What are the early warning signs that you must recognize? First sign is going to be irregular menstrual cycles. And your cycle may start to become shorter, longer, heavier, or completely unpredictable. What used to be irregular and stable now changes from the month to month. And this is one of the earliest and clearest signs that hormonal balance is shifting. And those irregularities are not random. They affect fluctuation in estrogen and progesterone that are no longer synchronized. So those estrogen and progesterone are fluctuating through your body, even through the day, through the week, through the month, and that's why you developing those kind of symptoms. My second early warning sign of perimenopause, of course, is going to be problem with your weight, especially with your weight gain. Weight begins to increase, especially around the abdomen, even if your diet and activity level have not changed. And this is not simply a calorie issue. Hormonal imbalances slows metabolism, increases fat storage, and reduce the body ability to burn energy efficiently. And over time, this weight becomes more difficult to lose. Of course, you will get a lot of weight in the short period of time. Next symptoms that can put you in position that you really think that this is menopause is going to be you have the sleep disturbances regularly. Before menopause, in most cases, maybe you have good night's sleep, but when you enter perimenopause, the sleep is going to change. You may have trouble falling asleep, wake up multiple times during the night, or feel unfreshed in the morning. And hormonal fluctuation affects the brain sleep centers and disturbs the natural sleep-wake cycle. And poor sleep then further worsens hormonal imbalances, creating a cycle that becomes harder to break. Yes, that's all perimenopausal symptoms. There is more. One of those symptoms that you can see it yourself, maybe your husband or your partner seeing you every day, is going to be mood changes. This is something precious, my dear woman. When you are in those mood changes, everyone feels, especially you. Sudden emotional changes, anxiety, irritability, and low mood can appear without a clear reason. And the hormones directly influence brain chemistry and neurotransmitters. When they fluctuate, emotional stability is affected, and many women experience those symptoms without realizing they are hormonal driven. And of course, one of those symptoms of perimenopause is going to be chronic fatigue. You will feel tired with no reason. You have chronic fatigue. Your mood is changed, and you don't feel yourself anymore because those hormonal changes affect your especially mood. And you will have also low energy, Even after rest, you feel tired, drained, and without motivation, and energy level may fluctuate through the day. With periods of weakness or exhaustion, this reflects deeper metabolic and hormonal disruption, where the body is no longer producing or using energy efficiently. Yeah, my dear viewers. There is also a couple of symptoms. This one a lot of you already recognize. When you go to the perimenopause, you will have all those kind of hot flashes. Those temperature rises in your body with any kind of clear cause, hot flashes, sweating, especially at a larger scale. And this is kind of perimenopausal symptoms. Also, you will have the brain fog and the poor circulation. And you may notice difficulty focusing, slower thinking, forgetfulness, and reduced mental clarity. Texts that were once simple becomes more demanding, and this is not just a stress, it is a neurological effect of hormonal imbalances impacting cognitive function. Yeah, my dear viewers, there is one also a very interesting symptom is going to be decrease in libido or your sexual activity. Usually those kind of hormones, if they are in some kind of lower stages in your everyday life, you will have those kind of decreased libido. And hormonal changes often reduce sexual desire and overall vitality. And this is not only a physical issue, but it's also linked to emotional and neurological changes. And many women experience this gradually without connecting to its hormonal shift. And what you can do, my dear viewers, is in almost like 100% of those symptoms can be put down in remission. You can remove them completely only with nutrition, only with natural remedies, with exercise, with proper minerals and vitamins, generally healthy way of living, using good proper food, nutrition, natural remedies that have no kind of side effects. Of course, in the most cases, you ignore all of this because you don't believe in nutrition, natural remedies, and healthy lifestyle. You only believe in chemical medications, and then you cannot be surprised when those symptoms getting worse and worse and worse. And one of the biggest factors of influencing perimenopause is the lifestyle. And the poor diet, high sugar intake, processed food, lack of movement, and the chronic stress worsen hormonal imbalances. And at the same time, lack of key nutrients reduce the body's ability to regulate hormones naturally. And this makes symptoms stronger and more persistent. And what happens if you ignore all of this and you ignore those symptoms, you treat them totally wrong? Of course, all of those kind of symptoms will be getting a lot worse and worse each month, and you will see in your body. If those changes are ignored, the body does not stabilize on their own. It moves deeper into imbalance. What begins as a mild, occasional symptoms gradually becomes a constant condition that affects multiple systems at the same time. And the hormonal fluctuation becomes more pronounced. Metabolism slows even further, and the body loses its ability to regulate energy, weight, and emotional stability. Like any kind of problem, this is just normal phase of your life. You can go through those kind of phases easily, or you can ignore all of those problems. And you will see a lot unbelievably bad, those kind of symptoms going to go over the top. This is not to be a good position to be in. And over time, this creates a cascade of secondary symptoms. The risk of osteoporosis increases as hormonal support and bone density decline. And thyroid function may become impaired, further slowing down metabolism, increased fatigue. Insulin resistance can develop, leading to the weight gain, blood sugar instability, and higher risk of metabolic disorder. And this is not just short transition that poses without consequences. For many women, it's not addressed properly. It becomes long-term struggle that affects daily life, health, and overall quality of your life. Unfortunately, we're living in the world right now that is unbelievably a lot of people had all kind of chronic conditions than ever before, and of course those kind of menopausal symptoms are worse than ever. This is just because we eat so unhealthy food, we are a lot under stress, we take a lot of chemical medication, and everything is blown away. And what should you do? If you want to support your body during perimenopause, you must focus on restoring hormonal balance within. This includes proper nutrition, reduce inflammation, and support the endocrine system and stabilizing daily rhythms such as sleep and stress responses. But this is not something that can be solved with one supplement or isolated advice. Hormonal balances requires a structural and individual approach. But understand this, if your body is entering perimenopause, this is not something you should try managing on your own. If your doctors cannot help you, be 100% sure you cannot remove those kind of perimenopausal problems. Of course, not my viewers. You don't have the knowledge, you don't have the experience, but most of you try to find some kind of easy solution with one pill, one supplements, whatever, and things are going to be a lot worse. That's why you need a medical professional that really can help you. If you want to learn a lot more about those kind of hormonal changes, especially in the menopause, and what really can help you in the safe and natural way, watch my video right here. Thank you for following my viewers. See you in the next time. Bye bye.